There is a moment during every flight when the world below becomes so small that you can no longer hear the noise of everyday life. For me, that moment used to be about finding peace alone. Then Uka came into my life, and somehow he turned that private feeling into something we could share. Uka has always followed me everywhere. If I walked into another room, he was there. If I went outside, he was waiting at the door. And whenever I packed my paragliding equipment, he became especially interested. He would sit nearby and watch every movement, as though he was trying to understand why I kept carrying that strange piece of fabric toward the mountains. For a long time, I never considered taking him with me. Flying with a dog isn't something you can decide on a whim. There are serious safety concerns, and I knew that Uka's excitement couldn't be the reason for taking a risk. But the idea stayed in my mind. So I started observing him more carefully. Whenever we were near the glider, Uka never seemed uncomfortable. He wasn't trying to get away from it. Instead, he wanted to investigate everything. He would walk around the equipment, sniff the fabric, and follow me while I practiced. Eventually, I began bringing him along during my preparation sessions simply because he enjoyed being there. Then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. I was moving across the field with the glider behind me when Uka suddenly started running alongside me. He wasn't chasing the fabric, he was chasing me. He looked happier than I'd seen him all day. That was when I realized that perhaps the flight itself wasn't what interested him. He simply wanted to experience whatever I was experiencing. From that point forward, preparation became a shared activity. We spent more time together on the hills. I introduced him gradually to the equipment and made sure he was comfortable with the harness. Nothing happened quickly. Every new step came only after I was confident that Uka was relaxed. Months passed this way. There were plenty of days when we did nothing more than walk around the launch area and go home again. And honestly, those days mattered as much as the successful ones. Because I wasn't preparing a dog for a flight, I was learning how to understand my dog. Eventually, we reached a point where everything felt right. The weather was stable, the conditions were suitable, and Uka was completely comfortable with the routine. We traveled to the Alps together. The climb itself was an adventure. Uka ran along the trail, explored everything around him, and repeatedly came back to check where I was. By the time we reached the launch point, he seemed almost impatient to find out what we'd been preparing for. I checked the harness carefully. Then I checked it again. Uka stood quietly beside me. And finally, we moved forward. The wind caught the glider, our feet left the ground, and suddenly there was nothing beneath us except open air. I looked at Uka. He wasn't panicking, he wasn't struggling, he was simply watching. The mountains were spreading across the horizon, the clouds were moving slowly around us, and Uka seemed completely fascinated by the view. I had spent countless hours in the sky before that day, but I'd never experienced a flight like that, because for the first time, I wasn't thinking about how high we were or how long the flight would last. I was thinking about trust. Uka couldn't understand the technical side of what we were doing. He didn't know how the glider worked or what the weather forecast meant. He only knew that he was with someone he trusted, and somehow that was enough. When we eventually touched the ground again, Uka immediately became his usual energetic self. He looked around, wagged his tail, and acted as though we had simply returned from another walk. But I knew something had changed. Not in Uka, in me. Before that day, I thought freedom was something you experienced alone. The mountains, the wind, the silence, they were my escape from everything else. Uka showed me that freedom can feel even better when you have someone beside you who makes you feel completely safe. He doesn't need expensive toys or complicated adventures to be happy. Give him an open field, a new place to explore, and someone he loves, and he's already satisfied. That's what makes our bond so special. Uka didn't simply come with me into the sky. He reminded me to appreciate the person beside me before I became too focused on the destination. Today, when I prepare for another flight, I still look for him. Sometimes he comes with me. Sometimes he stays on the ground. But either way, I know that somewhere nearby is the same dog who once watched me prepare for takeoff and made me realize that the best journeys aren't measured by distance or altitude. They're measured by the memories you bring home. If Uka's story touched you, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more beautiful stories about animals and the people who love them.